just a bit of a squad update. That's right. Start off with Ryan. How is he? What's the nature of the injury and how is he?
Yeah, he's just feeling a bit unwell during the game. So whether there's a bit of a virus going on or whatnot, we're getting to the bottom of. So available for Wednesday. We don't know yet. We'll see. Everybody else was fine from the weekend, and we're as we were.
Obviously, we all know that the Dean Henderson won't be here for the next month or so. How much of a blow is that for the next few games, and does that affect sort of transfer plans? Will you be looking to bring in another keeper?
Still something we're thinking about. We actually thought Dean's injury might have been initially a lot longer than what it's actually going to be, and as you said, he couldn't have played in the semi-finals anyway, and unfortunately we were knocked out of the FA Cup. So Premier League football, there's a bit of a break. So we're weighing all that up and seeing if it's right to go with what we got. Obviously, Wayne played on the weekend at Bournemouth, and we'll see if we want to keep with that or whether we're going to make a change, but we haven't decided yet. And if we do, it's got to be right, so we'll wait and see.
The initial diagnosis was about 4 or 5 weeks. Is that still the case, or are you a bit optimistic now?
Well, I think Dean had, touch wood for him, hasn't had loads of injuries, certainly muscle injuries in his career, and he's still a fairly young lad. So, we have to sometimes see how players recover from injuries. Some can recover a lot quicker than others, and if he does, great. If he doesn't, then we'll deal with it as it comes.
Right, talk to me about this game. How Forest in a cup semi-final just seems right, and yet it's been so long since that's been the case, I suppose. So how does it feel? Does it feel different going into this one?
Well, we're really excited about it, that's for sure, and for to put Nottingham Forest on the stage as a semi-final of an important competition, it is right, and it's been a long while. So we're really proud of the fact that we can play on this stage, obviously against a really tough opponent in United. We've been going well. I know they lost yesterday, but it was a really tough game. We're really pleased to be on this, put the club on this stage again, and we just want to make sure we do ourselves justice.
Forest United, you don't need to explain the sort of cup history between the two when it comes to you or to I suppose to some of the team. Are they kind of going back and watching sort of the guys in short shorts and stashes and that kind of
Well, even before this round, we have been very clear about the club's history in this competition to the players. And I remember before the Spurs game, I think it was, we showed them of the history. And I know it was a fairly long time ago, but that's why supporters will get excited about this tournament, while they will put big importance on it. And we have to respect that, and we would anyway. So, the players are aware. But it's obviously a different era now and a different generation, and we not just with League Cup, we are trying to create new positivity around the place, and the League Cup is inclusive of that. So we're really looking forward to the game.
Does it feel a lot more positive around the club where we are now then?
Well, it's always been positive since I've been here, if I'm being honest. But we try and always be that way if we can. Because I think the more that you look at things in a positive way and in a can-do manner, I think the better you have of succeeding, whether it be in the next game, whether it be over a phase of games, wherever. So we will always try and put a positive spin on everything, which is sometimes difficult in an elite environment in this Premier League that we play in, and but that will always be our first intention, is to be positive about things. And at the moment, I think we've got a nice balance between, as you said, keep using that word, feeling positive, but also feeling determined and motivated to improve and grow. And that's where we're at.
Thank you.
Cheers, thanks.
Steve, you mentioned history a couple of times during your piece just now. How important to you is the history of this club when you go into big games like this?
Yeah, I think it's. I think we embrace it. We try not to. We try not it to be a hindrance or an added pressure. We want to use it as a motivation to understand who we are and what we represent. I've said from the moment I walked in, you can't get away from the history of this football club, and you shouldn't. So embrace it, represent it as best you can, but in a modern way, in a way that we're trying to look forward, trying to create new eras, positive eras, new moments, and I think that's a good balance. This club is what it is because of its history, and we should always be proud of that.
I got the impression last year you used your FA Cup run in addition to your league performance to get promoted. Is that what you've done with the League Cup? Because so many teams seem to throw away the opportunity of lifting a trophy with the I must just stay in the Premier League. You seem to be able to try and marry both ambitions.
Well, I think it goes back to the question before about the history that the club has had in this cup and trying to represent that. And that's what we've done round by round, and we've obviously managed to get through. We've had some tough rounds as well. Spurs obviously played a really strong team against us. Wolves was a really difficult game and could have gone either way. It was a game we could have played better in, but we managed to get through on penalties. So it's not been an easy ride for sure to get to the semi-final. And yeah, we've treated it like every other game is one that we want to do well and one that we want to win. I think that unfortunately we're out of the FA Cup, but we're not very proud of that and the way we went about it. But these two games now fall in between a 2-week Premier League break. So we are quite fortunate with it being 2 legs that we haven't had a fixture congestion, if you like. There's enough sort of recovery time and preparation time to be ready for these games. There's no doubt about that. So the 2 games have actually come at a good time. But semi-final, we really want to commit to it. We really want to attack it. Obviously, it's Man United. It's over 2 legs. Incredibly tough games, but one that we want to have no regrets about.
In terms of that 2 legs, up till this point, it's 1 game. Should the semi-final be 2 legs, or is it time to have 1 leg in semis? And if you're drawn at home, lucky. If you're drawn away,
yeah, there may still be an argument for both on there, and I'm not sure what's right or wrong. I think if we were sitting in the middle of a really congested fixture period, I would probably say one leg. We're not, so the 2 games from a physical standpoint doesn't really affect us too much. If anything, it can keep us ticking along. So I think you answer them questions sometimes in the present circumstance that you're in. And ours is that we're okay with it at this moment. But if we'd had a load of games and we were still in the cup and maybe there was some games to catch up with in the league, then I might have had a different view. But I can't have any complaints at this moment in time.
Just 2 more. First of all, a lot of your squad weren't here last year when you got to Wembley and you lifted the trophy.
Yeah, come on, mate. We got two games before that.
We were documented.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, though, that is it, for those that weren't here, is that a motivating factor you can use? Listen, this is what we did last year. We got to Wembley.
Well, no, I understand what you're saying. I think it's more about that we are in a semi-final of an important cup, and how often do they come along? Some of the players would and have been in situations like this before. Many to be the first time. But I think we should go into it thinking that they don't come along very often. So treat it like it might be the last one. And that's what I mean. It's a semi-final. We've worked really hard to get here. There's a real good feeling about the semi-final in the city. The stadium will obviously be the atmosphere that it's been every single game so far this season, which has been incredible. And we should really embrace that. I think the added thing as well is we played United not so long ago and it was away from home in the league. And we felt that we didn't play with enough belief and enough courage in the game. It was going to be hard wherever. And we might have played better and still got nothing out of the game. But we did walk off the pitch thinking we could have done a bit better there. And I don't want that in these games. I don't want any regrets. Doesn't mean we're going to win, lose or whatever. But I certainly want to make sure that we commit to the games.
That was going to be my last question. Not free hit. Free hit's the wrong phrase, but I can't think of another one. United expect to win trophies, have to win trophies. Ten Hag's under more pressure than you to win a trophy. Does that mean you can have a little bit more relaxed going into this semi-final?
Well, I don't think about them too much or any opponent and what the pressures may or may not be. I only think about ourselves. And listen, like I just is the same for me, same for the staff as it is the players. How often do these semi-finals come around treated like this is the last one you're going to be in? So we're feeling a good pressure of wanting to do well, as I said, I just want to make sure that we go into the games with a real positive mindset. I want the players to really believe that they can succeed. Hopefully we can put the right plan and pick the right team to go and do that. And whatever happens over the 2 legs, we can look back at it and go like, yeah, we don't have any regrets.
Best of that.
You too. Thanks, Moose. Hi.
I was wondering how Jesse Lingard is after coming back in as an unused sub at the weekend.
Yeah.
Might he get some minutes on Wednesday, and also is there kind of a sense of him being, I guess, particularly up for it, given its name on it?
Yeah. Well, he's back training. Wasn't quite ready on the weekend to start, but definitely ready to be involved, which is what he was. Although he didn't obviously contribute because the game went a certain way, and he's trained since, so he's definitely up for selection. What we decide to go with, we'll see. But yeah, he's back in the mix.
Steve, the fans here never let you down, do they? At the City
No.
game? But I just wonder what particular message you might have for them with their role to give you a good footing going towards that.
Well, it's more about what we do, because the fans, the support has been unconditional. Well, since I've been here, but if we talk about this season, it's been completely unconditional, and that's not always the case, and we don't take it for granted. So as always, I always think about how we match their support, and that's by giving our all on the pitch and playing well and playing in a way that the supporters can recognise and be proud of. So so that doesn't change. I'm pleased that the supporters have got an opportunity to come and support their team in a semi-final at home. They deserve that. The club deserves it. So like I keep saying, we really want to go into the game with a real positive, committed plan that hopefully gives us the best chance of doing well.
I didn't know about making United feel uncomfortable.
Well, I say, yeah, we want to do that well, we don't want it to be comfortable, that's for sure. That won't help. So yeah, but that comes down to what we're in control of, and that's getting the preparation right, getting the plan right, and then hopefully delivering on the night. And that's why we, of course, will respect United and their strength, and there's many of them. They're dangerous in so many ways, but we have to believe that we can play well in this game, and that we can have a positive contribution, and we have to focus on that more than them. So that's what we'll be aiming to do. Cheers.
Hi Steve, just a couple of follow-up ones from me. I know it was a couple of days ago now, but I just wanted to get your final thoughts on the Bournemouth game now that a couple of days have gone by. Yeah. So
definitely could have been better, but you also have to accept that it could have been worse. So like I said, we will look at it in a good way, and it's a few games now unbeaten. It's another point away from home. It's 2 games unbeaten away from home. We know that's hard because our away record hasn't been what it should have been. I like the fact that I don't like the fact we were 1-0 down, but I like the fact that we come back and got something out of the game, and in the way that we did. And as I said straight after the game, I think it was a real sign of progression to play as we did away from home in the Premier League. It shows that we're making progress. Me being me, though, I don't like the chances that we gave away in the game. I don't like the opportunities we give Bournemouth, which with respect wasn't really well earned from their point of view. It was more given to them in the way we were, and that gave them a confidence and a momentum in the game that we shouldn't have allowed. So we look at the game as what it was, and look at the good things, but also look at the things that we need to improve on. And of course it'll be a different game against United. It's a cup game and all that sort of stuff, but we just need to keep growing as we are.
Speaking of the cup game, with the occasion and the documented Forest Fest in about 31 years, I think it is. How much do you allow yourself to step back from it for a moment and forget about the game and think, wow, what an occasion, on a personal note for yourself?
No, I'm just completely honed in on the game and my job. In the back of my mind is motivation is just doing the best I can for this club and these supporters. That's my biggest driver. So I just don't get caught up in things like that. I just get caught up in how I, don't let people down, and that's by being the best I can be at my job. Sometimes it's good, sometimes maybe not, but that's where my motivation is. And I know it's a semi-final, and I know, as we've said to your colleagues, they don't always come along, and we've got to make the most of it. But I can't get caught up in that too much. I need to get caught up in how I do my job and how the players do their job to the best of their ability.
What are you expecting from the game itself?
Well, I'm hoping that the stuff that we're talking about is applied in the game. I think when we get it right at home, it's a really tough place for any opponent to play. We've seen that with some of the. Every team's a big team in the Premier League, but some of the teams that are always at the top of the league have come here and maybe not found it too easy, and we've got to try and replicate that. But I think what's important is we've got to understand why teams have found it like that and what we've done to make games that way, not take it for granted and be even better at what that is. So we've just got to focus on that. We've got to focus on what it takes to do well in the game, not the outcome, not the what ifs. We've just got to concentrate on what we're in control of, and that's where our focus needs to be.